to Still Politics tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am now joined by the Deputy Director of Media for the Enugu State PDP campaign organization, Dr. Reuben Onyishi, to discuss politics in the Southeast states. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. Just a point of correction. I am the Director of Online Media, PDP campaign organization in Enugu State, not the Deputy Director. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. What do you think Nigerians stand to gain if the PDP is voted into power again? And at this point, I'm talking about poor Nigerians and both at the national and the state levels.
Well, I want to talk about the state level now because I'm a director at the state level, and PDP has ruled Enugu State from inception of democracy in 1999 till date. And incidentally, quality of candidates that the PDP has presented to the people of Enugu State is something that is welcome, in the sense that he is a very credible candidate, highly cerebral, someone who is prepared and trained and poised to lead. And that is why the people of Enugu State are mighty happy, because this young man has presented to the people a manifesto that contains the roadmap to economic prosperity, a kind of exponential growth in the economy of Enugu State, clear roadmap, strategic objectives, and financial models. So, of course, it is something that people of Enugu State welcome, because Peter Mba, the candidate of PDP, says he wants to grow the economy of Enugu State from its present GDP rate of $4.4 billion to $30 billion in 8 years. And it's something that is prepared to do. And believe me, because it has antecedents coming from private sector, living economy, and experience, and then having had a stint in public service when he was the chief of staff to Chimaroka Namani administration, as well as the commissioner for finance. So we are really confident that PDP will sustain the leadership of it, given the credibility of the candidates that has been presented.
All right. Going by that kind of confidence, do you think the PDP in Enugu State has done enough to deserve the votes of the people?
Of course, yes, the PDP has done enough. And that's why the people of Enugu State have continued to vote the PDP. Starting from 1999, when Chimaroke Namani was elected and re-elected, 2003, and when he left in 2007, Sullivan Chime was also of the PDP, was elected governor, which Sullivan finished a tenure of 2 tenures of 8 years. Then present governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, was elected, and Ugwuanyi has so far has led very well. No facets of measuring the scorecard. The PDP administrations have given a good account of themselves. The governors have given an account of themselves, and PDP has also prudently selected or elected a candidate who is very resourceful and visionary. So I'm confident because of, not just because of antecedents, and in terms of some of the infrastructure, but also at the value proposition that is coming from the candidates for the
All right. Yeah. Yes, it's a fact that the PDP has ruled Enugu State since 1999. But then the APC chairman in the state who was on our show 2 days ago, and I'm talking about Ugochukwu Agbala, has said there is nothing to show for this. How will you react to this?
Well, the fact is that the man you are talking about, Ugochukwu Agbala, was also of the PDP, was a product of the PDP, was commissioner for works in the Chimaroke administration. And somewhere along the line, he just had to resign because at a point when he wasn't getting it right as the commissioner for finance works, he was asked to resign, and he left and came back to the PDP. You remember that in 2002 he ran for the governorship of Enugu State under APGA and failed. Then again he came back to the PDP. In 2019, he was one of the national delegates of the PDP. Then he also moved away. So when we have this kind of a rolling stone that gathers no more, we can't take Ugabala seriously in Enugu State because he's a cantankerous person, and his leadership has messed up the APC in Enugu State. You will agree with me that APC in Enugu State dead, is baptized. The people are scattered because of his high-handedness, because of his alleged fraudulent practices, sharp practices, 419, and all manner of things. Remember also that recently some aggrieved members of the APC went to the national headquarters, Abuja, and they protested that Ugabala stole. They said he stole the sum of 1.3 billion naira. That's $1.5 million that was meant for the delegates. The presidential candidates brought this money for the delegates, but the delegates didn't receive the money. Agbala was alleged to have siphoned that money with the present APC governorship candidate, Chen Naji. They saw the protest, the people were protesting, and today the presidential rally was held in Enugu, and the money that was brought by a Southeast governor, 238 million, was also alleged to have been stolen by Ugabala. And you saw the people protesting, vehemently asking that this money be restituted. So Ugabala is not someone we are going to take seriously in Enugu State. We can't take him seriously because he has not given a good account of himself. And look at this humongous allegation that is heaped on him. It seems he's not a credible person. Doubt that he can lead Enugu State. And you could see that play out today. The presidential rally was a flop.
Dr. Onyishi, I would kindly, urge you not to make, some allegations that cannot be substantiated. So let's kindly, go straight to the point. Has your governor done enough for your party to be re-elected in Enugu State?
And I said yes, that Governor Reuben has done enough. He has done enough in terms of physical infrastructure. He has done enough in terms of human capital. He has done enough in terms of good governance. He has done enough in terms of security, peace and security. He has done enough in terms of his financial obligations. So he has done creditably well, and he has given the incoming government of a good foundation, to consolidate deliverables and then take Enugu State on export lines. So the things I said, I didn't cook those things up. You are aware that there was a protest by aggrieved APC members.
All right.
I'm saying that these are the allegations again. So I didn't cook them up.
Dr. Onyishi, let's talk about your candidates now. Peter Mba is facing other formidable candidates like Frank Nweke Jr. of APGA, George Ogara of the APC, and Chijioke Edoga of the Labour Party in Enugu State. How will you rate his chances against these formidable opponents?
I didn't get your question very well.
Your candidate, Peter Mba, is facing other formidable candidates like Frank Nweke Jr. of APGA. We also have George Ogara of the APC and Chijioke Edoga of the Labour Party in Enugu State. So how will you rate his chances against these other formidable candidates?
I'm just amused at the word formidable. What sense do we make of that word formidable? Because I haven't seen any candidates that you mentioned, who is formidable. You know, we haven't seen him, and we can see that bit and back, because most of these guys have been, you know, electioneering without manifesting. Where is the formidableness in someone who doesn't even have an idea of what governance is all about? These guys, they just want to like the APC candidate. You can see that his eye is on campaign funds coming from the national headquarters of the PDP. These guys are not doing anything. They have not told the people of Enugu State what they would do. It is only Peter Mba that has presented manifesto and has been explaining it to the people of Enugu State, moving from one development center to the now 68 development centers in Enugu. And by February 4th, Peter Mba shall have gone round all the 68 development centers, you know, explaining the social contract, telling them what it's going to do, filling their pulse, getting to know what issues they have got, and then classifying each development center in terms of perhaps agricultural zones and the value chain thereof, and then what are the challenges of the people and all that. These are the things Peter has been articulating, and he has told them the number of kilometers of roads he will build, and he has told the people of Enugu State that he's going to move agriculture from pipeline to platform. You understand? And appropriate fully the value chain. He has told the people of Enugu State that Enugu is a coastal city, and Enugu has navigable waters, which is going to revamp and create seaport, and all this to raising up the revenue profile of the state. And there are financial models, and there are objectives. These things are contained in the document that is manifesto, which is in public domain. But I haven't seen any other person doing anything, any other. All we get from these guys is come out and throw tantrums and look for whom to damage their name and say things that they cannot defend and all that. They accusation, cook up stories and all that, which using media, irats all over the place. I haven't seen any of them bringing anything to the table. They haven't brought anything. So I doubt
all right.
So
Are you saying that your governorship candidates will have an easy ride in this election?
Oh yes, of course. He's going to have an easy ride because no other person is campaigning. No other person has brought anything to compare with what he has brought. So it's more like those guys are not serious. They're not serious. You have someone, what do you have? This is 21st century. And governorship is not a dance done with snuff in the palm. It is something that should be taken seriously. And you say you want to be governor, and you just woke up from bed and decided to be governor. You have nothing to offer the people. You have nothing to tell the people of Enugu. And you said you want to be governor. How will you be governor? It is only Peter that has told the people of Enugu State what he's going to do and what governance entails.
All right.
How he's going to consolidate your one deliverable and build upon them. It is only Peter Mba that has done that. Nobody else. None of them. Is it Uchennaji? Uchennaji has nothing to say. He has nothing.
All right then.
All right. Anyway.
All right. Members of APGA Enugu, founded by supporters of Ike Ekweremadu, the senator representing Enugu West Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly, have endorsed PDP governorship candidate Peter Mba for the election. But of what effect is this with the absence of Ekweremadu?
He said what effect?
Members of a support group founded by Ike Ekweremadu.
Yes.
All right. Members of a support group founded by Ike Ekweremadu have the senator representing Enugu West Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly have endorsed PDP governorship candidate Peter Mba for the election. So I'm asking, of what effect is this with the absence of Ekweremadu?
Well, you know that when Ekweremadu was interested in the governorship of the Enugu State, but at a point he withdrew for Peter Mba. You understand? And it is natural that his supporters will also support, support Peter Mba. And that is a leverage, of course. Yes, that's a leverage because those Ekweremadu is a factor in Enugu politics. And he's not someone you can easily dismiss. Okay, even though he's not around, it's unfortunate, but he has, a foothold in the state and has this large followership, and they have all pledged their support to Peter Ndubi Simba. There's nobody. I said this thing that there's nobody who encounters Peter whose doubt is not healed. Peter is someone that it looks as though this young man was born and created to lead, because he has everything about governance at his fingertips. So it is natural that someone with a Kuremado experience and standing politically who would identify this visionary leader or leadership ability in Kitamba and endorse it. And that is what it has done. And his followers, all of them have pledged their support to Peter. But it might also interest you to know that also Chijoke Edoga himself, who later went to Labour Party, that he also pledged support. After the primaries, he gave a press statement and where he pledged support to Peter Mba and asked all his supporters, including myself, to support Peter Ndubi Simba. And we all closed ranks together, having found that Peter is good and is going to deliver and is going to help Enugu to rediscover itself and move from where Governor Wine has, the level where Wine has attained. We all decided to support him. All right? So it is not just the Kuremadu, but also Chijoke Edoga himself. But I don't know what happened along the time, and Edoga had to leave for Labour Party, where he is now. And I doubt that Labour Party in Enugu has got no foothold at all, because you could also see that it's a concatenation of disgruntled persons who couldn't win at the PDP primaries. And instead of closing ranks to support the candidate, spirit of sportsmanship, ideology, or they rather, elope to Labour Party, where they hope to upstage the PDP. But incidentally, they haven't got any foothold there. They don't have any structure. It's just the social media noisy, and then the sentiment that they are whipping, get sentiment, and that's just not. So you can see, my dear sister, that Kukamba is formidable, and it has large followership, and it has the structure.
All right, Dr. Reuben Onyishi, we still have a lot to discuss, but in the meantime, let's take this break and I will be right back.